Hello, everyone, and welcome to ROKStudios. I'm Stan Miller. I'm PR and Analyst Relations Manager for Rockwell Automation in the EMEA region, and I'm joined today by Andrew Peckston. He is Head of Supply Chain Cybersecurity and Infrastructure at Mondelēz. Andrew, welcome to the studio.
Hello, nice to be here.
So Andrew, today we're here to talk a little bit about building resilient supply chains, elevating cybersecurity as a strategic business priority. This is an amazing topic. I can't wait to get into it. But before we do, could you just tell us a little bit about your company?
So Mondelēz International, who I've worked for approaching 30 years. We are a large snacking company. I think the best way to describe us is wherever you go in the world, we will either be number one or number two in chocolate or biscuits in that country you go to. So huge iconic brands like Cadbury, Milka, Oreo, all around the world.
Hard to go into a shop and not see products from Mondelēz, certainly.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's one of the really nice bits about working with a company. You go into a shop anywhere and you've got the products on the shelf and people are really excited about buying them. So it's a really nice thing to see.
So Andrew, let's talk a little bit about, in today's interconnected manufacturing landscape, from your perspective, how should organizations position cybersecurity within the broader enterprise risk management and supply chain strategy? What are your thoughts?
I think it's really simple. I mean, you have to take supply chain cybersecurity risk assessment as part of your overall risk management process for your business. If you're trying to do it separate over here somewhere, it will wither and die, like most things. If you integrate it fully into how you're managing risk throughout your business, it will become part of how you business. It will retain executive focus. It will retain the appropriate level of investment so you can keep moving your business forward and keep it as cyber resilient as you need to be, in the same way that you manage other supply chain risks, whether they be from suppliers, whether they be from major events like wars, etc. But so integrating it exactly in the same way that you manage risk across the rest of your business is from my perspective, the way to do it. If you try and do things along the side, they will not sustain.
Okay. Andrew, as IT and operational environments become increasingly integrated, what are the key challenges and opportunities in aligning teams across these domains? And how can organizations establish effective collaboration between IT, operations, and executive leadership?
Really good question. I think it starts with people knowing what they're responsible for. I have a phrase that we've used a lot in the business of, any screen you see, you need to know how that's managed, how is it kept secure. So whether it's a screen in a factory, screen on your laptop, screen on like this one, how is that kept secure? And therefore who owns it. So it starts with identifying who owns all of those devices and therefore who is responsible for maintaining them. I think what else is also really important is having the right teams for your business. And I don't think there's one model for this, but having the right team of people who can own the equipment on the factory floor and also will own the team that can own the IT equipment. And they have to work together. There has to be a point where you create the environment, you create the structures where they work together enough to understand what's important to each side of it, but actually gives them the freedom to be able to develop the ways of working and the processes and the playbooks and runbooks to manage their own environments.
Andrew, what are the most important elements of a resilient supply chain from a cybersecurity perspective? For example, how should organizations think about visibility, segmentation, response readiness, and business continuity planning in a complex industrial environment?
Great question, thank you. So if I start from kind of the outside in, maybe that would help us kind of answer the question. So, segregation, we have to do it. Many businesses and many colleagues that I talk to from other organizations are still struggling with how do I segregate my IT from my OT? We just got to do it. It's not easy, but you have to put the segregation firewalls in place to separate your critical OT infrastructure from your critical IT infrastructure, and then work out who's going to manage it. It's not easy to do by any stretch of the imagination. So if we talk about visibility, you have to know what you have on the ground. You have to know what equipment you've got, what devices you've got, what PCs you've got, what HMIs you've got. There's various ways of doing that. But if you don't know what you have, you can't manage it. And until you're at the point where you understand what you've got on the ground, you can't start to put processes in place, strategies in place to start managing it. Once you do, it actually becomes quite easy because you can assign ownership, you can decide what tools you're going to apply to those, and then just make sure you manage it well.
Andrew, looking ahead, how do you see risks evolving for supply chain and industrial environments? What strategic investments or mindset shifts should organizations prioritize today to remain resilient in the face of increasing complexity and emerging threats?
Look, the obvious emerging threat is AI. Whatever forum you join or whatever you read, industry forums you join, it's about AI. My perspective on that is, I don't think AI changes the threat itself, but it can change the speed at which an adversary can find the vulnerability to exploit. But actually it comes back to the basics. It comes back to, am I controlling my perimeter with my firewalls? Am I making sure that I've got MFA everywhere I can have MFA? Am I making sure I'm managing accounts properly, minimizing the use of generic accounts, etc., across the area. But equally, it's about managing vulnerability as well. Doing your patching wherever you can. Not everything in OT can be patches. Patches don't exist, but where they exist, do them in a timely manner, and also manage vulnerability as well. I say to my team often, don't treat vulnerability management as a separate topic. It's just part of patching. If you're doing your patching well, you will manage most of your vulnerabilities. So if you do all those basics really, really well, the emerging threat of AI will be largely managed as much as you possibly can. There's no magic tool to it. It's about getting those basics right consistently and thoroughly.
Interesting insight. Andrew, thank you for joining us in the studio and sharing your insight on such a critical topic. Great pleasure to have you today.
Absolute pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you for watching. If you'd like to learn more about industrial automation, digital transformation, and cybersecurity, visit rockwellautomation.com.